Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to quickly make a video to hopefully clear up what I think is some confusion around how Lucius works and how Semrah works. Lucius is removing buffs, and then the buffs still come back. And people are thinking, okay, so what's going on with Semrah? Because he's still getting the buffs back. So I wanted to jump into Semrah really quick, and I'm going to kind of skip forward to the shield phase and then explain why I think that is, and explain where I think the misconception about how this fight works is. And be sure to let me know in the comments if you agree with what I'm saying, and if you agree this is how the fight works, and let me know what you think. Alright, so we just got through the first phase, the Saw phase, and we're about to go into the Aegis mode phase, and I'm going to explain what I think is happening here. So, we just went into Aegis mode. The first time he does Aegis mode, he's going to put one stack of the whatever that hardening buff is. I can't remember the name of it. So in a second here, he's going to place that stack, right? So one stack of Aegis mode comes on, okay? Now, I didn't pop Lucius because I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to explain this, but if I were to pop Lucius here, he would remove that buff, okay? So where the confusion comes from is he's about to go into Aegis mode again, and you see that he adds another stack of hardening. Now, whether I remove that first buff with Lucius or not, after he does Aegis mode the second time, it will be at 2 stacks for this shield, okay? It doesn't matter. Even if I remove the buff, it'll still be at 2 stacks the second time he does it. And I think it's because it doesn't work where when you remove that first buff with Lucius, that buff is gone. And it's not necessarily that that buff you removed came back. It's actually that that's the way Semrah works, is that the first time he gets 1, the second time he gets 2, the third time he gets 3, the fourth time he gets 4, okay, until it gets to that max cap of stacks he can have. So it doesn't matter if I remove the one buff in the first phase, because in the second phase, he gets 2 regardless. And just to clarify, like, you might be saying, okay, well, if he gets 2 in the second phase, why didn't it go from 1 to 3? It just went from 1 to 2. Because I think that's the cap of that phase. It caps at 1 the first phase, it caps at 2 the second phase, it caps at 3 the third phase, so on and so forth. And that's how many he gets. I don't know if I explained that well, but I'm doing my best. I'm sure Fasty or someone else will come out with a much more in-depth video on how this works, but that's my take on what's going on. So just to show you here, I'm not gonna pop ults so I don't kill him, but I'm gonna let him get the third one here, and then I'm going to remove them, and then we'll get to the fourth one and I'll show you. He just adds all 4 instantly. So now he's at 3. But if he was at 0, he would have still been at 3, right? So I'm going to remove all these. Next time he'll go to 4. And it's not because it's not because Lucius isn't working, it's because that's the way Semrah works. It's the 4th phase of Aegis mode, so he's going to get 4 stacks of that shield instantly. 4. And so that's how it works. It's not that Lucius isn't working, it's not a bug. That part was intended. Anyways, I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are. Please do not flame me in the comments. I know that this is kind of a controversial issue right now. I'm really just trying to kind of have a conversation around it and figure out what people are thinking. Those are my thoughts. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know if what I'm saying doesn't make sense in the comments. But yeah, either way, I think we can all agree that it's a communication error from Moonton. At the very, very least, it's a communication error, because we're left to just assume how a lot of things work because the descriptions are terrible. So what ends up happening is we make these assumptions of how things are supposed to work, and we make, incorrect assumptions, and we build hype around incorrect assumptions, and then we get pissed at Moonton thinking that something's a bug that's working as intended. But the reason there's so much confusion is because it just was never explained very well. And so I think a lot of this could be solved with better communication from Moonton and the descriptions of the fight mechanics and stuff like that. So But yeah, that's something that, you know, a lot of content creators have talked about for a while now. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Until next time, see ya.